to come to Prime, want to get your CDL, have my videos played a part in you wanting to get your CDL, put me down as a referral. Driver code Maturo, M-A-T-U-R-O. Also list Nikki Yost.
Hi guys, I'm a recruiter here at Prime. I've been working alongside Junior for several years. If you would like to come to Prime, we would love if you would list his code and me as your recruiter. We would love to get you in here.
If you have any questions, give her a call at 417-521-3598. Thank you guys. Hey, what's going on, guys? So it's me again with another video. I did tell you guys I was going to start making videos again, and here I am with another video of something that happened to me yesterday. From what you've seen, I did get pulled over, and no, it's not what you guys think. No, I was not speeding. I did not run a stop sign. I did not run a red light. I did not do any type of violations. So the officer, the Kansas state trooper pulled me over and said they wanted to do a level 2 inspection. And I'm gonna walk you through everything that happened, transpired, how it happened and whatnot, because it was odd. As you can see, it was on the side of the road, and that was my first time on the side of the road. It usually happens at the scale, you know, on side of the scales and stuff. They say, hey, pull around, driver, bring in the paperwork, or they'll come out to the truck and do the whole 9 yards of whatever level inspection they're doing, whether it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And when I in here is the sheet that I got that I'm supposed to scan the Prime ink, and I post a picture of the results. Of course, no violations were discovered per the Kansas state trooper. So I tell you how it happened. So I'm driving on US 400. I'm headed east. I see, you know, usually you see cops kind of like on the streets and kind of checking speeds east and west and whatnot. Well, this cop pulled out. State trooper pulled out into the middle of the road, turned lights on and everything. You know, naturally I'm like, oh, something happened. What happened? You know, slow down, and stuck her arm out, because it was a female state trooper, and just pointed to the shoulder. And I was like, I'm like, dang, something happened. You know, I'm looking, okay, let me pull over. And I seen her bust a U-turn and, you know, came up behind me, and you know, I'm like, dang, you know, luckily we got these bright orange seat belts that obviously you can see from far away if we have a seatbelt on. So I parked. So I'm like this, I'm like this. I pulled over, parked, take my seatbelt off. She was here. I opened the door. I said, yes, officer. And she's like, hey, this is the Kansas state trooper. We're gonna perform a level 2 inspection. All right. And I was like, okay. And no, actually, she said, I didn't see you do anything wrong, but we're gonna do a level 2 inspection right here, right now. I said, okay, cool. So immediately I put myself on duty, and I annotated, make a note of it and say inspection. She also did remind me, say, hey, make sure you put yourself on duty, not driving. Same difference. I added a note saying I was getting inspection done and whatnot. And she said, yeah. And then she started jotted down information, asked me, was I loaded? Was I empty? Obviously I was loaded. What do you have in there? Where was it coming from? Where it was going? And she said, the company, Prime Inc. And she was kind of looking at my stickers and said, you know, and I said, no, it's Prime Inc. And look at the DOT. She's like, oh, okay. She started seeing the H and all that stuff, right? And And she even looked at the side of the door with the QR code and whatnot. And she just wanted to confirm. I said, no, Prime Inc. And she said, okay. And she jotted down some information. She's like, all right, do you have a driver's license? Gave her my driver's license. And she then said, all right, then let me jot down some information from the trailer and some information from your truck. Obviously, they wanted to see it that for the they're looking for the DOT inspection sticker for the trailer. Was it expired? Obviously not. Truck, obviously not. It was not expired. And she went and took the little notepad she had with her, took it back to the car and to the trooper. And then she came back. She said, all right, then, you know, we're gonna start. And she made me turn on the truck. She went to the front of the truck and she was doing the light check. She said high beams, left turn signal, right turn signal. Notice she didn't say brakes on the four. She said four ways. She's in the front of the truck. And she kind of looked at the sides of the truck and trailer, just like we would on the test, just like a pre-trip inspection, just like I would do with the students. You know, she said high beams, obviously left, right, four ways. And she was looking at both sides. Then she said, all right, we're gonna do the back side, and when I get to the back, I'm gonna do the same thing, except this time I'm gonna do the brakes. I said, yep, I got you. She said, okay, good. She went to the back. She said, four ways, left, right, signal, brakes. And then she looked at the back of the trailer and then the truck. And after that, she proceeded to come to the truck. And she said, all right, you know, I opened the door. Let me see your windshield washer and wipers, make sure they're working. You know, turned it on, they came on. Windshield wiped, everything worked. She said the horn. So when she said horn, I'm like, which one? And so I honked both. I honked the city and the air. And she said, well, either one would have worked fine. And legally, you know, she said either one is fine as long as one of them is working. I said, okay. You know, I feel that they both should be working, because you don't want to go around hitting the air horn when the city horn's enough. And she was like, yeah, you're right. You know, I said, well, I didn't say that to her, but I was thinking to myself, but I did say to her, I said, they both should be working. She's like, yeah, but one's enough. I said, okay, cool. And then she stepped up to she said, I'm going to open the door. I'm going to step up here because I need to be up here with you for this next step. And she said, I'm going to have you pump down the brake until the low air warning light comes on, and at what pressure. So I said, okay. So, you know, I'm pumping down. The light came on. Obviously the buzzer didn't go off because the tractor brake was applied. And she said, okay, now I'm going to ask you to send me my your logs. And she had a number that she was going to give me, and obviously this is something that they talk about every Friday at the safety meeting. You got to know how to send your logs, and you got to know how to, you know, show them where the manual is for these geotabs, or, you know, yeah, the geotab stuff that we use. And I'm gonna show you that. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like and what I did and what she asked for. Pretty simple, guys, nothing to it. Again, they'll provide you with a number to send it to. Simple. All right, and let me show you. All right, obviously this is what it looked like when I was on the logs. It was on the on-duty position, and obviously there was notes to it, but I'm just going to show you. She said, okay, go ahead and send me the logs. I'm going to give you the number. So at that point, you're going to go to dashboard. You're going to scroll up where it says roadside check, and you're going to say no pin. She said you don't have to worry about the pin. And then she gives you the number right here, and you're going to put that number where it says officer code or comments. That code will be the code that she gives you, and then web services transfer. Okay, And that's it. And that's how you send the logs to the officer. Then the officer asked for the manual to the Geo tab. So you're gonna go to more, let me see, and then ELD info, and then ELD manual. She just wanted to make sure that I had that and that it was available to me. And then she said, okay, you're good. And I went back to the dashboard and back to the status, and I was good. After that, she proceeded to do the rest of the level 2 inspection. So after she had me send her the logs to her, she said, all right, I'm gonna finish the level 2 inspection. Then she proceeded to check the tires. She checked the lug nuts. She checked the steers on the driver's side, the drives on the driver's side. She went back to the trailer, went around to the passenger side, checked the steers, the drives, and the trailer. Obviously, she was checking the lug nuts as well, making sure they were good. Obviously, no air leaks, no hissing around the tires. And she said, she came back over here again, and she said, all right, everything checked out. Let me go finish paperwork, and you be on your way. So she said, just hang tight, and that's what I did. The inspection lasted about 30 minutes, roughly 30 minutes. And she came back, said everything was good. And I said, all right, thank you. And that was it. I proceeded to go ahead and go. And after I started going, I didn't notice there was another truck in front of me headed west, because I was headed east. There was another truck in front of me headed west, got pulled over by another state trooper. So it was a random, 2 randoms actually, you know what I mean? Like I said, it was my first time. So yeah, if you are at Prime and you get a inspection done, they pay you for that. It's $100. And on the lease side, and if you're on the company side, it's $25 if you get a clean inspection. I got a clean inspection. She did say, go ahead and scan this in within 2 weeks to the company. Obviously, I'm not gonna wait 2 weeks to scan it in, because I'm gonna scan it in with my next trip when it's done. But she said I was good. She said, have a great day and be safe. And that's what I did. But yeah, I just wanted to run this by with you guys and just tell you what happened, how it happened, and what she asked for. And it was pretty basic, pretty simple. And level 2, clean inspection. And again, one of the things that I wanted to bring up too also was, you know, sometimes we see trucks getting pulled over. We don't know why they got pulled over. We assume why they got pulled over. Oh, they were speeding. Oh, they did something. Well, we can never assume why they got pulled over, because you never know why they got pulled over. Maybe they're getting an inspection done. So anytime you see a truck pulled over, never assume why they got pulled over. Never assume it's a bad thing. Just always ask yourself, maybe they're getting an inspection or just what happened. But don't assume, guys, because again, I was pulled over and I'm sure a lot of guys drove by and seen my truck and they're like, dang, he got pulled over. I wonder what he did. But all I was doing is getting a level 2 inspection done, and it was a clean one. Everything's good with the truck, and yeah, I'm good. But yeah, so just wanted to run this video by you guys and let you know what the level 2 inspection was done by Kansas State Trooper, and what it transpired, and what it consists of, and how to send your logs. So now you know how to send the logs to the trooper and show them the manual for the geotab. So it's always important. And I do have my paper logbook right above me in case she did ask for it. It was right there. Remember, that has to be within reach. So yeah, everything was good. And again, guys, appreciate you watching the video. Please like, share, subscribe. If you have any comments, leave them below and I'll try to get back to them as soon as I can. And thank you for watching, guys.